Good evening. Many thanks for joining us. Welcome to CoreTV News at 7. I am Emmanuel Ezekiel. The National Council of State has approved a transition program ahead of the May 29 handover date. President-elect Muhammadu Buhari is to get his handover notes on May the 28th, after which he would be conducted round the presidential villa alongside his deputy Osinbajo. This was one of the decisions taken at the meeting, which had all living former presidents and heads of state in attendance.
The other issue is the Transition and Integration Committee. You recall that the two arms, the government, the sitting government and the incoming government, all selected their transition committees and with the terms of reference, but actually they became almost one because of the interface that were needed. So that every detail that are required in governance, nothing will become new to the incoming people. Every ministry, every agency, every unit that has worked for government, including all the funds that have been collected, how they have been utilized, and the assets and the liabilities of government will all be put together in documents, the incoming government. These officially, the documents will be handed over on the 28th of May.
Staying with the Council of State meeting, the Police Council has confirmed Solomon Arashi as Substantive Inspector General of Police. The council, headed by President Goodluck Jonathan, took the decision on Tuesday with relevant members in attendance. Speaking to State House correspondents after the meeting, the new police chief assured Nigerians of the police commitment to ensuring peace and security across the country.
I have just been confirmed.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you very much.
What other issues were discussed at your council meeting, please?
Well, we talked about the security challenges we're having and our strategic responses to, addressing those challenges. Those are part of the things that we discussed. And I can assure Nigerians that we are going to, address those issues. There is no society that is actually crime-free, but we are trying to ensure that it is within tolerable, levels, and that is exactly what we are going to do. It's not as bad as the public perception in there. And besides that, you said what I want to tell my men. Their welfare will be, one of my cardinal responsibilities. And you don't motivate a workforce except their welfare becomes paramount in your. So I'm going to ensure that their welfare is put in the front burner. To Nigerians, I know the expectations are high, but I can assure them that no Nigerian will suffer any injustice by my inaction or my action.
Yeah, like that I told you earlier on, issues that border on national security were discussed, how to ensure that Nigerians live in peace, how to ensure that securities are assured, how to ensure that their rights of properties are adequately protected. With that, a new IG was brought on board to see if the policies and the programs put in place and implemented by him.
Council of State meeting to legislative matters, where the Senate has passed the tobacco control bill, which primarily seeks to shield non-smokers. It also has provisions that will ultimately protect farmers and the local tobacco industry. The bill was passed after the Senate Committee on Health presented a bulky report outlining penalties for smoking in public places and the sale of tobacco products to minors.
For us as a Senate, the danger associated with smoking cannot be overemphasized. And the tragedy here is that those at risk are not just who smoke, but those around them, their loved ones, their neighbors, and their friends. So it is important that we regulate the smoking and other matters related with the tobacco manufacturing and sale. This we have done today in order to protect our people from the harmful effect of smoking. So I believe that the society, especially those whose business involves production and sale of tobacco, will understand our concern for the health of our people.
The All Progressives Congress Tuesday considered a report from the Health Committee. I take that again. The All Progressives Congress has called on security agencies and the telecommunication service providers to help fish out those seeking to defraud Nigerians by asking them to apply for federal appointments in the incoming APC government through a non-existent APC screening committee. The party made the call in a statement issued by its National Publicity Secretary Lai Mohammed in Abuja. The party insists that the call has become necessary as the scammers had persisted in their fraudulent ways despite previous warnings by the party for them to desist. The telephone number and email address as disclosed in the statement are 081 07 400 745 as APC Screening Committee at gmail.com and affront Dr. Favor Odioge, who is supposedly the Screening Committee Secretary. APC repeated its earlier warning contained in a statement on April 21st, 2015, where it warned Nigerians to beware of such fraudulent claims. It said the party had not set up any committee to which Nigerians should submit their CVs for screening and possibly federal appointments. Now, after the March 28 and April 11 presidential and governorship elections, drama seemed to be evolving daily in the PDP camp, both at national and state levels. The latest drama is the purported impeachment of the Lagos PDP chairman, Tunji Shele, on Monday. Oluwaseyi Adegoke has the rest of the story.
On May 11, 2015, news of the removal of the Lagos PDP chairman filtered in. The secretariat was under lock and key with the presence of security operatives on guard. The impeachment drama was attributed to the fallout of the party's primaries, where a particular group within the Lagos PDP camp had conspired to change the structure of the party.
They tried to divide the party along personality lines. But thank God, I hired all the leaders and elders behind me. The ESCO is made up of 49 members, and I control the majority at all times.
Chairman maintains he remains the party chairman until the next ESCO is in office.
It is unfortunate that the few incarcerate members with the arrowhead, Kamal Olonje and Wahab Owokoniro, eventually struck. I'm in the office now. I'm in control. I'm in charge.
The party says they do not regret having Jimmy Agbaja as the party's governorship flag bearer, maintaining that he gave the APC a keen competition in the last election. They are, however, assured that disciplinary action will be taken against the party offenders. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
The Ekiti State Electoral Tribunal has made its inaugural sitting. The panel, led by Justice A.N. Eraho, will be taking 6 petitions, with 3 challenging 2 senatorial districts and the other 3 for 3 State House of Assembly seats. The PDP and the APC expressed their confidence to emerge victorious at the close of the tribunal. A correspondent, Rashid has more from Ado Ekiti.
This woman will come back.
This prayer by Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose is a confirmation of the apparent rise in kidnapping of people in the state. But this is obviously not enough for the friends of Margaret Aladenika in the health sector, who have decided to down tools until her release. The Governor Ayo Fayose, in his response to the protest by the health workers at the Federal Teaching Hospital in Ado Ekiti, says the state government is on top of the situation.
It is our responsibility, because of the peculiarity of our state, we have to stand up to it and face it. But in issues like this, security is not discussed in the public. We can only appeal to the people to be calm.
While the health workers continue to grieve for their colleague in captivity, they also insist that they will not return to work until she is released.
All we want is for her to come back hale, hearty and alive, unhurt, and as soon as possible.
I've so declared the strike indefinitely until Aladenika comes back safe, sound and alive.
We have declared that we want to withdraw our services until we see her. So right now everybody is going to go back home, and we will not be coming back until she's back with us here.
For the Chief Medical Director Ayodele Majakodomi, security consciousness is the beginning of wisdom.
Everybody should watch his back or watch our back. In this dispensation now, it's not about Ekiti alone, Ekiti State alone. It's all over the country or even beyond. we need to be security conscious.
While the tension level rises, the Emergency State Security Council meeting called by the governor is expected to provide solutions to nipping this ugly trend in the bud in the state. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ido Ekiti.
Our next story is to Rivers State, where the 56 election petitions have been filed before the Rivers State Elections Petition Tribunal sitting in Akpo, Abuja. As at Monday, the Rivers State Elections Tribunal has the highest number of petitions among the other state elections tribunals sitting in Abuja. The election tribunals of Rivers, Adamawa, Borno and Yobe states are sitting in Abuja because of security concerns in the various states. 5 of the petitions filed before the state tribunals were filed before the governorship election panel, while the 51 other petitions were filed before the Legislative House election panel. Among the 51 other petitions were 3 filed by the All Progressives Congress candidates with respect to the elections into the 3 senatorial seats in the state. The rest of the petitions comprise 14 petitions challenging the election into the state's 13 House of Assembly, House of Representatives seats and 37 others challenging elections into the 32 available seats in the State House of Assembly. The 5 governorship petitions were part of the 18 governorship candidates who contested the April 11, 2015 governorship elections. If you just tuned in, this is CoreTV News at 7. We'll go for a quick break. We'll come back with more stories. Stay with us.
It is often said that the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. But what about the things in life that actually inspire us to believe? Like the things that drive us, the things that move us, and even the things that remind us that the sky really isn't our limit. Because when we are inspired, we are led to future greatness. But first, we just have to believe.
One day I want to build Nigeria's first aeroplane.
I know. One day you'll make us proud.
Rich and creamy pig, extra fortified with 28 vitamins and minerals. Here's to 60 years of nourishing dreams and inspiring the future. The future is bright. Reach for your peak.
Oguche, the alleged mastermind of the 2014 Inyanya Bombs Terminal and 5 others at the Federal High Court has been stalled due to the absence of prosecution witnesses. The court had slated May the 12th for proper trial of the suspects after several adjournments, but has now fixed May 19th and 20th. Prosecution counsel Mohammed Diri had told the court that 3 of the witnesses slated to testify were on official assignment.
Three of their witnesses are not available, that they went for other official assignments. But one would have thought coming to court to give evidence on a sensitive matter like this is a bigger official assignment than. But since what they are talking about borders and security, we need to give them the benefit of doubt. And we are not reading any meanings into it. So we agreed to an adjournment, and the court has now adjourned to 19th and 20th of May, which is next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, when they are supposed to come with their witnesses.
The Nigerian military says it has no hand in the attacks on some villages in Wasa local government area of Plateau State in north-central Nigeria. Controversy surrounding the incident that claimed yet to be identified number of casualties is attracting the attention of the Plateau State House of Assembly and the concerned citizens in the state. While addressing protesters at the State House of Assembly premises, the Speaker, Titus Ayuba Alams, promised that the incident would be thoroughly investigated for an onward presentation to the National Assembly for deliberations. Accusations and counter-accusations have continued as the Tarok people are alleging that the attacks were planned to wipe out their people. Amidst all these accusations, the Special Task Force, through its spokesman, Ikedichi Weha, explained that the military had no hand in the attacks and is only involved in maintaining law and order according to its mandate. Meanwhile, the people of Kadarko and other affected villages have continued to count their losses. Now, earlier, the Chadian President Idris Deby had said he did not know the whereabouts of the Boko Haram leader Abubakar Shekau. He also argued that the Chadian and Nigerian troops would have fared better in the war against insurgency with better cooperation. President Deby spoke to journalists at the presidential villa after a closed-door meeting with President Goodluck Jonathan.
Premier point concernant Abubakar Shekau, il faut le situer dans le cadre de l'ensemble des opérations que nous avions menées.
Mr. President said he has no information concerning mercenaries from South Africa. On the issue of Sakara, he said it's regrettable that the two armies, that the Nigerian army and the Chadian army, were working separately on the field. They were not undertaking joint operations. That if they have been able to operate joint operations, probably they will have achieved more results. And he cannot tell you today that he knows where Shakarawi is hiding. And even if he knows, he won't tell you that he knows that.
Meanwhile, Chad said it's to intensify efforts and work closely with Nigeria to end the Boko Haram insurgency when President-elect Muhammadu Buhari assumes office. Chadian President Idris Deby made this pledge when he paid a courtesy call on incoming president in Abuja. Deby, who spoke through an interpreter, maintained that with a much stronger bilateral relationship between the two countries, Boko Haram will be wiped out.
Comme vous savez, la relation entre le Tchad et le Nigeria, ce sont deux pays frères.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President is saying that this visit today in Abuja, Nigeria, aims at coming to congratulate the Nigerian people and leaders of achieving one of the greatest elections ever seen in Africa. And as you said, Mr. President is emphasizing the fact that Nigeria and Chad are two countries with one people. We have many things in common, many destiny. We have a long tradition, a long history together. And in this sense, the visit here to meeting with President-elect.
Our main preoccupation in this region is the question of Boko Haram. And we have known how Chad, Nigeria, and Cameroon have been helping Nigeria to secure the border. And we know what effect it has on commerce and industries. Some of the bridges were blown, some of the infrastructure again is destroyed. So these are the priorities we have discussed, and God willing, when the government gets in place, we will again sit and make sure we have a comprehensive review of the situation in that area and how it affects our people.
As the face-off between the allied health professionals and the management of the Federal Medical Center, Owerri, continues, staff of the FMC branch have once again taken to the streets to protest against queries issued to some of their members. The demand of the employees, which amongst others is centered on the purported privatization of some medical services by the management of the health facility, sparked reactions, resulting into protest.
Your representatives are marching to the board right away. So as we discuss ab initio, we are moving. So people can lead us as we go. So let's move immediately. Let my people go.
calling them, and let them go to the promised land, where the mighty people go.
Now, this may not be the best of times for residents of Lagos as the fuel scarcity continues. Like many other parts across the country, they have continued to experience the harrowing effects of the fuel crisis in the country. All across Lagos metropolis, residents went in frantic search for the essential commodity which has become elusive. In Ojodu, a suburb of Lagos, consumers can be seen with different sizes of jerrycans forming long queues. In other parts of the city, such as Ikorodu town, Ikorodu Road, Ojodu, Alausa, the story remains the same as the situation has resulted in long queues. Meanwhile, at one of the NNPC filling stations along Ikorodu Road, CoreTV News crew met the filling station on the lock entry.
I've been here since like 4:15 a.m. and when I came, I met few people on the queue, which I queued. But later on, there was a different development. People started smuggling jerry cans and everything, especially the road safety people, as the other guy has earlier explained. They took in some kegs and whatever. Then later on, another set of people again came, which decided diverting some kegs inside. And those are the people now on queue there. But we that came in earlier, we are still here, still waiting.
I don't know what the government is going to do about it. They should try to do something. So if it goes on like this, there'll be a problem in this country.
And Enugu Federal High Court has ordered the police to reopen the Enugu State House of Assembly complex, which has been under lock since some lawmakers moved to impeach the governor, Suleiman Chime. The house was thrown into crisis after the development as about 7 lawmakers who were opposed to the planned impeachment suspended the Speaker, Eugene Odo, and elected Chinedu Nwamba in his place. But Odo is insisting that he is still in charge of the legislative body, even though the leadership of the People's Democratic Party in the state had already congratulated Nwamba on his emergence as the Speaker. Nwamba was also received by Chime at the government house, a development which prompted Odo to accuse governor of promoting illegality. Odo had headed for the court to challenge the development, including the closure of the State House of Assembly by the police. In an interim order in the suit, the court, presided over by Justice Dorcas Ageshi, ordered the police to reopen the assembly. The team of policemen deployed at the gate were equally ordered to leave. And Chukwuma Azikiwe, the first son of pioneer president of Nigeria, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, is feared dead. A family source who pleaded not to be named said he passed on at Bromeo Hospital on Sunday at the age of 75. It was gathered that he had been battling protracted respiratory-related ailment for some years now. Chukwuma, until his death, was the Owele of Onitsha, a traditional position he inherited from his father in 1996. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe died 19 years ago on May 11, 1996. Chukwuma had once contested unsuccessfully the governorship seat of Old Anambra State at the end of his diplomatic career. Details about his funeral arrangements will be announced later, according to Onitsha customs and tradition. And that's our last take from the news desk. Many thanks for joining us, but do not go away, as in the next half hour, the reporter will come up. Be with us.